getting mass units is actually quite a common operation, especially if you're trying to ensure that all of your models are kind of fitting your corporate standards, or you're bringing models in from somebody else and you want those to be conforming to your standards. It just aids in always relative computing, centers of gravities, and total weights on things. So what we're going to do here is let's actually take a look at what this is going to require. So I'm going to do a query for the get mass units using the table model option here. And by default, it's going to take the active model that's here, and we need to write it out to a table. And as long as the table has these column names, if it already exists, we're fine, but we could actually use a little trick in Nitro-CELL to create that table for us. We'll call this mass units. We'll add it to wow tab, just so we have something unique. And we're going to reference that table name. It's going to be created as the place where we want to write it. So when we write this out, you'll notice that it's doing the active model, and it's reporting back to us that the current mass units of the active model are kilograms. And if we come back up here to kind of confirm that, you can see that, in fact, it is in kilogram seconds. So you can also kind of be a little bit more liberal about this. So we could say, I want all of the star.prts. Now, because we're using that table create function there, it's actually going to clear out the table if it already exists. So as soon as this connects back to Creo here, you'll notice that it's queried all of those models and brought back each of their mass units for each of those models that match that. And you could also be kind of cool with this. So you can say, I want star.prt, then let's maybe add in our star.asm at the end, so we get kind of a wildcard match going on here. And you'll notice that the PRTs matches are being listed first, and then the assemblies being appended to it later. Another kind of neat thing you can do is we can actually reference another table. So let me insert a few columns here. I'm just going to create a new table that has item name, and let's say I want basket.prt, spider.prt, and let's say cone.prt. And I'm going to create a table out of this. We'll call this my table. So we'll call this my table. And this could come from an external file, or it could come from the result of a Power Query that's done in Excel. So I'm going to just put in the reference to that table as my table as the input. And we're going to write out to mass units still. So in this particular case, when we run it, we should see that basket, spider, and cone is of course what is being reported here, which is basket, spider, and cone.